Hey guys, I am here once again with another candle review. So today we are looking at Goose Creek's Cherry Cobbler, and this is, oh gosh, I've lost track. It's at least 4 burns in, but I'm not sure if it's 4 or 5 or possibly 6. I know I've burnt this at least 4 days, and I think I had it like burning once in the morning, once in the afternoon. I don't quite remember. Anyway, aside the fact, it's burned quite a bit. Goose Creek, if you've ever ordered from them before, you may be familiar with this. Goose Creek will actually fills their wax up to about here. Like they kind of, this curvature of the glass, they pass it. And their pores typically up into the lip about here. So from here down to here is how much it's burnt. This is a 2-wick candle. And because of the 2 wicks, it does burn quicker. So this is paraffin wax, like your standard large jar Yankee candle. Really the only difference is just the 2 wick instead of the 1. And that's why this baby burns so much quicker, probably like double the time. But I'm actually going to pull up all the information for you so I can read you the description, tell you the exact hour time. So this is their large jar. It is 22 or 24 ounces of wax, I believe. It is 22 ounces of wax. The approximate burn time is 120 to 150 hours. And having burnt Goose Creeks before, I don't necessarily think that's accurate. I've never timed my burns, timed the hours, but I really just, I don't think that it's 120 to 150 hours. That's just me though, because these guys do tend to go pretty quickly. So let's talk about the scent description. So Goose Creek writes, this scrumptious handmade treat folds fresh cherries, orange, and lemon zest into a sweet, delicious blend of cinnamon sugar, brown sugar, buttery cake crumbs, and vanilla extract. So, first and foremost, I really don't get any cinnamon from this. I didn't get any cinnamon on cold sniff. I don't get any cinnamon while it's burning. The scent appeal to this candle is quite high. As soon as you open it up, first of all, when you open it, it's not exactly what you would expect, right? If you see Cherry Cobbler, I feel like you would think bakery, like it just screams out bakery. But that's not the case. It's much more of a juicy cherry scent. It's much more tart. It's very sweet, but like a tart sweet. But you definitely get straight up cherry note on cold. Maybe the slightest bit of like a crumble, like a bakery type of note. But it's not like, I'm just thinking of Bath & Body Works apple crumble, which is like a balance, but you smell it and it's like tart apples, like crumble and bakery on cold, but like almost a balance between these two. This is way heavier on the cherry. But I definitely didn't get any cinnamon or really warm spice. I get more of like a fresh, zesty tartness than I do a warmth from this candle. So I definitely wouldn't go into this candle expecting like a warm bakery note. But alas, it's still, there is some type of bakery note in here. There definitely is. And it comes out beautifully when it's burning. When it's burning, if you can see on the label here, do you see this exact part? Like the crusty, juicy part of the cobbler on the ends here? When you take it, like if you've ever made a cherry cobbler or any kind of cobbler, you take it out of the oven and this like juicy part is like caramelized and bubbling when it comes out. To me, that's exactly what this candle smells like, that juicy, liquidy part of the cobbler. So like, yeah, you're gonna get the bakery scent to it, but really you're gonna get that like sweet, tart, cherry note more so than anything. It smells like exactly what that part of the cobbler tastes like. And that's really the top note. And then you get like the bottom notes of this candle, and that's when that warm, buttery bakery scent comes through. But it's definitely the mid to bottom note of that candle. It's like the second thing you pick up. So when you walk into the room, you're hit with that fresh, tart cherry. And then once you're hanging out in here, you're like, oh, kind of smells like something's baking. And then you get a little more of that, but it's more like a buttery baking. It's definitely not like a cake type of bakery. Like this is not like cherry cake. It's not, there's a vanilla note in here. I really don't get the vanilla. If anything, I get the cherry freshened up by that lemon zest and citrus that's in there. So I don't know if there is citrus. I think it's just lemon zest. Yeah, no, it's, oh yeah, orange and lemon zest. So there is a little bit of citrus in there. I'm not crazy. So the cinnamon sugar I don't get. The brown sugar and the buttery cake crumb is definitely what's contributing to that bakery scent. So think more like a brown sugar than a cake. So brown sugar, it's like a little more sweet, like sugary sweet, more so than like, you know, floury baked bread cake type of bakery sweet. Alas, it really does work very, very well. I do feel like if it was more of that cake bakery note, it would totally like ruin this candle because it would overwhelm and overpower that berry note, that cherry note. And you wouldn't get any of the cherry and you wouldn't get any of the fruitiness because it's such a bright tart scent that if it was too strong, too like decadent of a bakery scent, you would just lose it. And it would be bakery with a hint of cherry, whereas this is bam, cherry with a hint of bakery. And that's why I like this so much. And at the end of the day, sometimes I want it, it's great because it's very versatile. So sometimes I want this to go with more berry scents, more fruity candles that I have going on. And sometimes I want this to go with more of a vanilla type of candle and bring out the bakery note in it. And this is great because it totally goes with both. I really adore this candle paired with Bath & Body Works cranberry pumpkin, because what it does is it just brings out the cranberry note in that candle, which is a lot heavier on the bakery, and gives it like a really nice tart cherry berry balance, and it just goes so beautifully with that candle. I also like this with, in another room, the Better Homes and Gardens Vanilla Cookie Crunch Wax Melt. That is awesome with this candle. Right now I actually have it going with Bath & Body Works Creamy Pumpkin from the triple layered We Love Pumpkin candle, and any kind of creamy vanilla bakery spice pumpkin type of candle is gonna blend flawlessly with this guy. And that's what I love about it, because I don't have any other cherry scented candles, and I really only have like a handful of berry scented candles. So when I ordered this, I was kind of like, what am I going to burn this with? Because I do burn multiple candles at a time. So that was one of my concerns. What's this going to go with? And surprisingly, it goes with a lot. So that's the scent. Now let's just talk about the throw. Awesome. Just totally awesome. If you shopped at Goose Creek like within the past few years, you know that they weren't always the strongest, but if you've been buying them this fall, you know that Goose Creek has really stepped their shit up, like all the way up. And their candles are amazing. They are so fragrant now. The new fall candles from Goose Creek, I would say the lowest scent throw I've had is like a 6.5, and a strong 6.5. This thing is awesome. So I have this in my kitchen now, and I have to say, it performs best in my kitchen. Goose Creeks really perform best in my kitchen and my hallway and like bathroom, bedroom. So medium size to smaller rooms is where they're gonna thrive. I've had this in my living room, but again, only if I'm burning it with another candle. Like it's great with that cranberry pumpkin. It has to be with a candle that they complement each other. Don't put it with a candle that's going to overpower it. Like I would never put this with like a pumpkin pecan waffles or something that's super strong, because then you would totally lose your cherry cobbler. But with a medium throw candle, you can put this in a bigger room, and as long as they go together, they're just going to complement each other, and you're going to be able to smell both. Like it's no competition. You smell both evenly. In my kitchen, I have it alone. It smells great. I actually have this going right now with a votive of Yankee Candle's Black Cherry, and they're playing really well together. And then typically I just have it alone too in one of these rooms, and that's pretty standard with Goose Creek. 6, 7, sometimes you get an 8. If I get an 8 throw Goose Creek, then it'll be fine in my living room. But this is a strong 7. It's definitely not quite an 8. It's not a 6 or 6.5, and it holds up well on its own, and it's great with other candles. So I really can't complain about the scent throw. And the other great thing about the throw on this candle, you can smell it instantly. Like a couple minutes after you light it, you don't even have to wait 15. Like you light it, it's barely even started to pool out. It's barely started to melt the wax, and you can smell this freaking cherry. I'm telling you. I've heard a lot of people compare it to the like canned cherry pie filling, and that's totally accurate. That's where you're getting that like sweet tart, like sweet and sugary cherry note, and that's just perfectly it with that like buttery background. Performance wise, so this is the first time I've had this slight little tunneling issue. This isn't really tunneling, it's just this side of the candle is having a hard time pulling out. If you looked at it from the top, if I gave you an overhead view, you would see that it's actually totally fine. And that's because these wicks are a little, the flames I mean, are a tad bit puny. This is not a Goose Creek flame. Again though, that is my fault. I did trim this guy before I lit it. I trimmed it after the last time I blew it out. And if you're familiar with Goose Creeks, their flames are large and in charge. Like they are just like whoosh, they come right out. They are so powerful. And with the double wick and a super high flame, they have a tendency to soot quite a bit. So I always trim my Goose Creeks into itty bitty nubs. I feel like you can't trim Goose Creek enough. But apparently maybe they've kind of gotten that under control, because I guess this one could be trimmed enough, because I trimmed it a little too short. The wicks are a little puny, and that is the only reason why I'm getting this little bit of stubborn wax on the side here. That's just my own fault. I trimmed them a little too short. So when this video is over, I'm just going to cotton ball it, and like now I know for the future, just don't trim it that short, because this is actually, I've trimmed it with like my hand, like you know when you kind of like pop the little top like crumbled part of the wick off. That's all I've been doing. And today was the first day I took a scissor to it and I sliced it right down to the wax, like all the way down. So that probably wasn't too smart. Well, finally, the last pet peeve about this candle, which truly is the only negative thing I have to say, because this candle is like a 9.5 out of 10. The only negative is, why does Goose Creek always put the wicks vertically? So it's like flame right here and right here instead of like right here, like here and here. So it's like you see them, they're like in a line, like one behind the other. I like them next to each other, like a flame over the Goose and a flame over the Creek. But right now they're like behind this little logo thing. So that kind of bugs me. That's just like my own OCD. I feel like it's like not even, and I don't know, it kind of drives me crazy. Anybody else, or is that just me? But that kind of bugs me. Other than that though, this really is a perfect, flawless candle. I absolutely love this like burgundy red wax. You can see all of that marbling in there even, and again, had I not, even with how low I trim them, it's still coming up with a beautiful wax pool with the exception of that one little area, but I know that that's going to fix itself out, so I can't even complain. Yeah, that's really it. That's really it. I have pretty much virtually nothing bad to say. This is an awesome, awesome candle. If you like berry scent, if you like tart, fruity candles, that buttery bakery note, you have to try this out. It is awesome. And if you are more of a bakery person, I would still recommend getting this, because I'm definitely a bakery girl through and through, but I also love my fruity scents. And like I said, if you want this more bakery, all you have to do is pair it with like a bakery or a vanilla type of wax melt or another like cakey type of candle, and it's gonna turn into a beautiful berry bakery scent. So versatile. There's so much you can do with it. No matter what kind of scent you like, get it, try it. It's so great. It's probably my favorite Goose Creek of their new fall line. Yeah, I think so. And it's my favorite new guy. So check it out. If you have it, let me know your thoughts on it. Let me know if that vertical wick bugs you too. And thank you for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.